Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's talk with Erika. Thank you so much for joining me and my very special guest today. Remember, you can subscribe in the lower right corner of the screen where it says today's talk with Erika. And always like and comment. We love to hear from you. Well, with me today is Courtland Smith. He is a licensed massage therapist, clinical neuromuscular and structural bodywork specialist, clinical medical massage therapist, touch for health specialist, and Reiki master. Courtland, welcome to the show. You got a lot under your belt.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. So, explain to me. I know this is a new business, and I'm happy to have you here because I love wellness centers like this. So, what made you want to open your own wellness center?
Well, this is what I grew up with. I grew up with my parents having their own wellness center, and I had some great models to learn from, but role model as well. So I started in my one room, rented my one room suite, and I, growing up with all this, I know there's a lot more than just body work. There's inflammation, there's different things that people have going on. And I named the business White Wolf Holistics with a wellness center in mind. Bodywork is one piece, and I really wanted to incorporate the whole holistic approach.
I like that. Why White Wolf?
Uh, that's a that's a story that goes to my grandfather. Um, it's uh, it's a bit of a long story, so I don't know how long you want me to go into this for, but um, the short story is my grandpa got my mom into all of this. This is northern British Columbia, Canada. So like there's no school up there and there's a lot of body workers that were just, home taught type of thing, lineage type stuff. Also school taught, but this one lady, she was teaching her daughter, and my grandpa said, you have to go sit in and do this anyways. So my grandpa got her started. My mom ended up working on Grandma Grizzly, and if you follow White Wolf Holistics, that story will be coming out in full. But Grandma Grizzly got to know my grandpa, and she said, "Oh, I have something for you," and it was the drum, and the drum has my logo on it, and it said, "You are the White Wolf." So
That's cool.
yeah, yeah, it's we'll have a story coming out soon to go over the whole story. But it meant a lot to me, and that was when my grandpa died. I got the drum.
Wow.
Um, it was
What
probably one of the most important things. And
I presume that logo on there then has to do with them. I was curious about why the logo.
yeah, here, if it will pop up.
Oop, you're
Uh,
disappearing with it. Yes.
yeah,
Yes, yes. Very nice.
yeah. So there it is mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's why white holistics. It's for my heritage. Like my great grandmother was the country person that they would go to see. She would sew people up, give them poultices, make the all this stuff, and often people would go to see her when, because remember the doctor did circuits town to town to town. So she was the people everybody went to for all their different things. So it's a long lineage that I ran away from for 10 years. I went to commercial diving.
Wow.
I said, growing up, I was like tired of talking about people's bowel movements and people's issues at the dinner table. And I was like, I'm done. This is not for me. I'm going diving. I'll see you underwater where all I can hear is my own bubbles, you know?
That's funny. That's
Did
funny.
that. I got dragged back, you know. I went and I lived life, got dinged up, and then I was like, oh, I got to change something here, and started finding all my old tools again. And then it all just, you know, when it's supposed to happen, I couldn't have planned all the events that happened getting me from leaving diving to here. Because
Hmm.
that was it's only been 5 years,
Hmm.
almost 6 years. So I went from having nothing well, I had like a lifetime of experience, but
Mhm.
from being in the commercial diving field to now having a wellness center within 6 years.
That's incredible. Where were you doing commercial diving? What part of the country?
Um, I had a varied career. Being Canadian, my first half was up in Canada.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I met my wife while I was down here at school. And then when I immigrated here, I did a lot of Eastern Seaboard stuff. So up and down from Massachusetts all the way down to Dry Tortuga National Park. And
Wow.
then I even did some stuff over in California.
Wow, that's impressive. Very impressive. So I was going to ask you, it's one of my questions was I know that you went to school here though. Where did you go to school for essentially is it body work that you went to school for?
Yeah, so for the massage therapy, I went to Florida School of Advanced Bodywork. It's here in Jacksonville, right off Bay Meadows and 95,
Okay.
and it's in my opinion, it's one of the best clinical neuromuscular schools
Very
probably in the country.
wow.
It's
Wow.
a small boutique school, so you're getting very close hands-on attention and training. Um, but where some neuromuscular classes, you take after massage school might just be like a weekend here and there, right?
Right.
No, this is 6 months, 6 months of deep, detailed muscle and kinesiology training with how to treat each muscle in with the neuromuscular method.
That's incredible. Does your wife do this with you?
She is not a massage therapist, but she is the Ozone lady.
Wow.
She runs the HOCATT. A
Okay.
bunch of our other services. She's now um, a certified tuning fork practitioner.
That's
With
amazing.
So yeah, she's been working on the girls
I
with the
love
tuning
that.
forks. Yeah, they love it.
Love
They get on the sound table and they're just. I peeked in and I heard tuning forks ringing and I was like, oh, what's going on? And there's Kaylin, my daughter. She's just passed out on the table and Ashley's doing the tuning forks on her.
That's adorable. Start them early, right? That's
Yeah.
adorable. Oh, wow. So what makes your wellness center, White Wolf Holistics, unique? What do you offer maybe that other centers don't?
We bring together a unique group of services that I feel really addresses, root cause type stuff.
Mhm.
So we have a wide variety of services. Between me, my mom, and my wife, we offer things that address the structural, your physical body, the emotional body, mental, spiritual, and then some nutritional type stuff as well.
I love that. I love that.
So that's that's the holistic part. And there's no such thing as a silver bullet. There's no special product that's going to take care of. There's no special modality that's going to do everything for you.
Right.
So I don't have people coming in and like, oh, this clinical neuromuscular work is going to get you tip top shape for your whole life. It's
Right.
not how it goes. What I love is that if you give the body something, the innate intelligence of the body is always trying to help you get a little bit better. It's always trying to heal, keep you together. It's just amazing how much garbage we can take, the body can take and still function.
Isn't that the
So we do a lot of frequency healing type modalities with the tuning forks, with microcurrent therapies, like Royal Rife type stuff. If you've heard of that,
not?
PEMF. We have the Ozone sauna, the HOCATT, which is a supercharged session. Um, I do kinesiology, the Touch for Health kinesiology, and different modalities within that realm, working with the meridians, acupressure points, Because what I've found is we're pretty depleted energetically,
Hmm.
and if we can give the body the energy it needs and the balancing that it needs with balancing the meridians or the posture, which you get into fascia, that's a whole conversation all by itself. And then you give it the nutrition it needs, and then you take care of the emotions that may be weighing your shoulders down. Sometimes the stuck muscle isn't just a muscle. Usually there's some other attachment or something else happening there. So that's what I really love. That what we do is I don't try to force something. I try to really work with the body, because if you work with the body, everything just falls in place.
Right. Right. Isn't that the truth? And I love that. And I wish more people understood that, to be honest, because it's everyone needs all the services that you have just explained. Everyone needs that. Everyone needs to, you think you're decompressing? No, you gotta go even deeper. Now, explain to me the ozone. I have heard in the past the ozone therapy helps as a cancer treatment or it lessens cancer. Explain that to me. I don't know if that's the same type of treatment I've heard about in the
Yeah.
past.
So unless you're a doctor, I can't cure, diagnose, treat. That whole verbal thing. But let's get into the nuts and bolts. Is cancer creates a hypoxic or low oxygen environment. Cancer does not like oxygen, and it doesn't like cancer also loves an acidic environment as well. So does a lot of the other garbage, parasites and all of that junk. Um, so what the ozone does is ozone is O3. Regular oxygen is O2, so two oxygen molecules. Ozone is three oxygen molecules, so it's a very unstable molecule. So what the HOCATT does that's absolutely fantastic is it stimulates the body to really open up the skin, increase your circulation, and the ozone goes through the skin. So we're not injecting it. We're not doing like the ozone 10 pass where they pull your blood out and the ozonate the blood and put it back in, which is really great. But this makes it easy for a lot of people where it goes through the skin into the blood. Now the blood is circulating with this hyper oxygenated molecule,
Hmm.
where it's able to jump off. It just wants to jump off wherever it's needed. Um, so it's for cancer. It's oxygenating the body, which cancer doesn't like,
Right.
and the rest of your body is desperately needing is that oxygen.
Right. Wow. I really like that. That sounds like an alternative maybe for folks who don't want to go through the Western medicine course, if you will.
Yeah, I know there's a clinic over in Clearwater. They have like 10 of these things,
Oh, wow.
and that's a cancer clinic. Like that's with an MD, the doctor. So if you were curious about that, I can't answer all those questions, but you can go look at his website.
That's incredible. Okay. I was just curious. I've heard about ozone before and I've heard it for that.
Yeah,
So I figured I would ask.
yeah,
That's
it's
really,
amazing.
yeah, but everything you offer sounds amazing. I specifically like those ionic foot detoxes, and I know you offer those as well.
Yeah. So now we're gonna get into kind of like this underlying theme. Um, the Iona Foot Detox, ours is really good. It's an analog based system. Our bodies, our cellular charge, we're analog. A lot of the devices on the market are digital based, so it's not native frequency to our body.
Hmm.
And with ours is you're getting a good charge that's going through the metal plates. So the metal plates are separated. It's a slightly salty water. So electricity is going from one plate through the water to the next plate. So it's essentially splitting the hydrogen and oxygen. So it's splitting the water. So you see little bubbles coming up, but it's creating these negative ions that are now being going through the feet.
Okay.
You got your meridians, you got three that go down the body to your feet and then three that come back up. So it's a big point for energy transfer. I'm sure you've heard of grounding, standing in the earth. That's kind of like You get a staticky balloon and then you touch something and then you get the zap.
Right.
We're basically grounding ourselves. We're getting rid of that extraneous um, energy.
And that's when
That's
you get all that gunk out, right?
Yeah, 10% comes out through your feet. 90% you have to get rid of naturally. So that's where you got to drink the water, walk, do some movement, really get your lymphatic system moving. So the negative ions that go in, a lot of the garbage in our body is positive charged. So the negative binds with the positive, neutralizes it. Now it can come off your tissues, off your cells, and now it can come out.
That's crazy. It always amazes me what our feet can do with the kinesiology, right? And then you've got, I presume, I know that there are different touch points on the feet, but also that
Yeah.
you can get so much stuff out of your feet and know specifically like what's going on. Maybe you've got joint problems, maybe you've got toxic issues in your body. That's always amazed me that that comes out of your feet.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people think that's really gross. I get really excited when I see a really good one. I'm like, that's awesome. It's not in you anymore. But like think about what's happening in your body
Right,
over
right.
the next few days.
Right, exactly, exactly. So I presume you've got a great website. I absolutely love your website. It has everything pretty much anyone has questions to be answered. And you've got a great, I love that also you offer specials. I noticed that you had one for Valentine's Day, and that's really nice. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Detox date night. We could have maybe come up with a better name, but for all
why?
the
I
crunchy
like that.
folks that want to, do a little detoxing instead of intoxing.
That's funny. Isn't that true? That's really nice. But yeah, that makes it really nice. Nice, relaxing, detoxifying experience for Valentine's Day. Do you have any other
Yeah.
specials coming up for any other, I don't know, holidays, if you will?
We'll probably have something for Mother's Day. We try to have something for those different days. And then just subscribe to the newsletter because we normally put out our specials as we think of them in the newsletter. Don't have one at the moment that I can think of.
Okay. But that's awesome. I really like that. This way people know to go and you can do the subscribe to the newsletter. You can always check
Yeah.
out the website. Where specifically are you located in Jacksonville?
We're in 5 Points. So if anybody knows where the Riverside's Art Market is, you got I-95 and the big bridge. We're just tucked in right there in 5 Points, right on
Hmm.
Park Street.
Okay. Nice and simple to get there, easy and easy access. So that's terrific. Um, is there anything you want to add, maybe that we haven't gone over? Anything specific you'd like to add about White Wolf Holistics?
We're a family owned and run, so it's me, my wife, my mom, and you'll probably meet the girls at the front desk. And we try to take a very well, we do take a very holistic approach. We meet you where you're at, and when you come in, we want you to feel like you're at home. A very calm or just a very calm, grounded. That's how people this looks like they already start healing the second they walk through the door. Uh, and just ask us. I know we have a lot of different services. Just have a conversation, and we'll steer you in the right direction. We have the quest for bioenergetic feedback. So if you're wanting to know what your body says is the good for you, there's a scan in there that tells you which services your body really needs.
That's incredible. I
It's
love
really fun.
that's
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
let's talk about it.
So
Glad you brought it up.
yeah, me too. Muscle testing is a bioenergetic feedback thing, right? We're asking the body different things. When you have something like the Quest, which has 40,000 different frequencies, and when it's scanning you, it's kind of like throwing out each frequency and seeing kind of what bounces back. Is it balanced or imbalanced?
Hmm.
So it's like compressing hours and hours worth of muscle testing into like um, a few seconds to a minute. It's
Wow.
really fun. You can do all kinds of scans. There's the baseline scan. Um, you come in, you can do reference points like off of symptoms you're feeling, like I got shoulder pain or gastrointestinal issues or whatever, poor sleep. And then it'll give you a feedback on that. And it's really good for people who are like, I have no idea what's going on with me. Maybe this will give you the information you need to like take to ask better questions of your doctor or figure out what you need. It'll also do an imprint, so a frequency imprint. So not only does it find the information out, it will also do a correction balance basically, where it'll, balance out those frequencies. And then you get an imprint bottle, a dropper bottle with your custom frequency balance.
Wow.
So every time it'll tell you how long to take it, how many drops. So it does dosage. Um, and it's just distilled water and vodka. But
Huh.
water holds memory. There's a whole thing about that. Um, you can and so every time you take the drops, it's like you're giving yourself another balance. You're just reaffirming that for the body because there's resonance, right? You walk into a happy room, you can't help but start to be happy. You walk into a tense room, you feel that. So that's an environmental, that's frequency. So this helps readjust you to that radio station. That's the balance state. And then you can go back and retest and see what changed. Supplements, people ask, have so many supplements. You can bring them in, and then it'll tell you which ones really resonate with you and which ones don't.
Mhm.
And life is life, and it keeps on changing. So it's not like you're set for those things, that amount of supplements for so long. I believe stuff should, life goes in waves. It's just like a sound wave, a sine wave.
Mhm.
That's what life does. So it's just helping you navigate all of that.
That's really incredible. I like that. Thank you for explaining that. That's really incredible. People don't understand sound and frequency, and this is all. It all makes sense, and it's amazing how on point it is. And I
Yeah.
I love that you explained that and you offer that.
Yeah, it was the missing piece until I found it. I was like, I don't have anything that kind of takes care of all of that.
Hmm.
So I was really excited.
That is very exciting. I love that. I really like that a lot. I know that you and I discussed we're actually going to have more shows to come, and then I'd love to have more discussions about different things that you're offering, maybe nutritional advice, anything that we can do to talk about something new that you're doing over at White Wolf Holistics, because I love this. I absolutely love this. And that's what I was going to say. You were talking about when you walk into your center, and I can only imagine you walk into a place like that and you just instantly feel calm and relaxed. I opened up your website. I meant to tell you this the other day. I opened up your website and I had that feeling, that effect. It was just all I did was open the website and I went, "Oh, this is nice." So I
Awesome.
can only imagine what it's like going over and having some nice footwork done and having some sound frequencies done and just totally relaxing and detoxifying the body.
Yeah. It's after 6 o'clock when we close, it's our time. So it's always a fight for who gets to go in the HOCATT.
That's funny.
Usually my wife wins.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
and the girls, they book their time. They get it once a week, and they make sure their appointment is on the schedule. They're eight.
That is funny.
Yeah.
That's fun. And so they can go in there. I was going to ask how old they are, and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you
Awesome.
kind of start them at halfway, but the HOCAT's very adjustable, like very, very adjustable. The amount of ozone, how long, how hot, how much infrared, far infrared, frequency
Nice.
specific, it's all very adjustable to the person.
Nice. So that's good to know though that kids can essentially come in
Yeah.
too. It's not okay, that's wonderful. Wonderful.
We all need more oxygen. We all need some good detox. And ozone's very
We
cleansing.
do.
It's
Yeah.
very cleansing.
That's very good. I really like that. I will have all of your information, the location, your website. Um, I presume you have social media
Yeah,
pages and everything. All of that's going to be in the About section of this show, which is going to air on YouTube. This way you can just click on links and directly find you. So thank you so much for being
you're
on. And
sure.
I look forward to talking about new and exciting stuff coming up because this is wonderful.
Me too. Thank you for having me, Erica.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.
You as well.